Hello everyone, I'm Garbo, and today we're going to talk about utility mastery. Is it on its way or is it not? So about a month and a half ago, we had a little hint that weapon mastery, melee mastery were coming in after they were going to do little things with the utility changes, with utility cooldown, and the you-know-ho gadgeteer perk. And they hint that around. It's not implemented into the game yet. However, it is fully on its way. We're going to be dealing with weapon mastery with pistols and melees. So later on in the future, we're going to be dealing with a lot of people that's going to be running the warrant, or they're going to be running the revolver. Same thing with the weapon mastery. For melees, there's going to be certain ones that are going to pop up because they're obviously heavy hitters compared to the baseball bat or the combat knife that are only faster with their lunges and not actual with their throwing capabilities. Some characters might like the actual lunging, where other people might enjoy actual throwing the melee weapon. So we may see that come back in the game in the later future. Do you want to? Hell no. Anyway, digress from that. Now we have a new thing because there's only one type of mastery left in the game that hasn't been implemented to the game because we already know about these other two, and that's going to be utility mastery. So my thoughts and opinions on utility mastery is, do we really need this in the game? And I would love to say yes, but no, we don't. We do not need this in the game. It's going to happen. There's no matter what, it's going to. I just have, the high res has a really bad tendency to try to make their game a lot like Call of Duty and games like that, where you can make your loadouts, you can pick your utilities, you can pick all that stuff, when this game is not meant to be that type of game. However, here we are, and now we're going to deal with it. So, yes, we're going to end up dealing with utility mastery, I believe, sometime in the future. And there's going to be a couple utilities that we're going to have to watch out for. There's going to be a lot of utilities that are going to be very powerful, depending on what rogue is going to be behind it and stuff like that. For first off, we're going to do the non-lethal utilities first, because obviously this would be the easiest way to go. But we're going to go with flashbangs, because who in their right mind wouldn't run a stack of 4 people running utilities of flashbangs, especially when they mastered all the flashbang utility? That's going to be pretty insane. I don't know what type of challenges they'll have to set out for you to complete that mastery. Surely it's going to be something like, disorient your opponent so many times with flashbangs, or, hit 3 people with your flashbangs. There's probably going to be some sort of challenge method they're going to implement, just like they did with all the rest of the utilities and weapons and stuff like that. But again, flashbangs would just be horrible. Again, because if 4 people are all running the mastery of flashbangs, they're going to be able to actually throw those flashbangs into one room and just like completely shut down people as long as they're hitting them. The only person they would have to watch out for would be an anvil. But if you're not running an anvil in that game, then most likely it's going to be a real shit show. And I mean, to be fair, if you have utility mastery, you can technically, change utilities depending on what rogues you see in the game. Kind of a, unfair advantage in the game for something that's supposed to be tactical, right? Okay, so another non-lethal weapon that utility that I'll be super worried for is the adrenaline shot. That adrenaline shot, with everybody running that, would be a pretty insane combo, especially when they're all running around the map. You take a couple shots, you think you got them, you come around that corner, and they had already adrenaline shot themselves, and they're back to full health, and they pwn you. Again, it's crazy again, because 4 stack. I mean, at the end of the day, if you imagine with a 4 stack team, it'll get pretty crazy. I mean, if it's just one person, I mean, that one person can be devastating, especially again depending on the kit that he's running. If you're running like a lancer, you're running, not characters that require a bounce back type perk that are legendary, of course, unless they do want to run that and then they counter a phantom, because they might have the bounce back perk, but if a phantom hits them and it delays them, they can just hit the adrenaline shot and ignore that whole delay of the delay of Phantom's passive ability. So again, when you have to deal with certain things like that, it just kind of like hurts your feelings, man. I don't know. It hurts my feelings just talking about this conversation with y'all. Just trying to tell y'all about the game and what's going to happen to it. It hurts my feelings. But those are the 2 like non-lethal utilities I'll be the most worried about. I mean, I would be worried about an APS team too if they were all running APS, but that would be a really defensive type team, so I just don't feel like that would be the case. I feel like they'll run those 2 non-utilities the most. Those are probably the best 2 to actually run and to help out your team with. Alright, so now we're going to get into the actual lethal utilities that we're going to be worried about, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw this one, the Simtech. Right, throw it. The Simtech. So Yep, could you imagine a four stack of people all running Simtex and they're all using that utility on those corners and they're getting the jump on you? It doesn't take a lot of skill to Simtech, I feel like, because at the end of the day, all you have to do is either throw it down on the corner that that character's on, or, you know, again, you throw it down on that corner and it just so happens they pop out and you stick them. I mean, every once in a while you can throw it like a baseball and then you might end up getting one as you're throwing it, but most likely you're going to try to throw it on those corners, and you know, they like to ego challenge you sometimes, and that causes them to die and actually get stuck by that Simtech. So at the end of the day, Simtech doesn't really require a lot of skill for me. I feel like that the Simtech is just, you know, is an easy explosive. You stick them, you get 250 damage down if you upgrade it. Like, it's a powerful utility, and you don't have to use your brain with it at all. It's just throw and stick, you know. So again, I would hate that, because that was probably going to be one of the worst utilities that's going to happen, because again, it's a no-brainer. You don't have to think on it. It requires no skill. You just throw it, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. You got it down. Another utility that I'll be super worried about is incendiary grenades. Incendiary grenades are like one of the best utilities in the game right now, and it probably always will be, just for the fact that it's able to block. You could throw that on any part of the area, and anything in that area or that radius is going to end up getting hurt or taking damage, especially when you upgrade it with a volatile and stuff like that. It's just pretty much, it's I'm sorry, my throat's catching up with me. But yeah, it just becomes a very deadly utility, especially when people, yeah, characters like Vi or even Switchblade that has Voltile and able to throw those down. They're going to be deadly. They're going to take a lot of extra damage. I mean, just thinking about that's really sweaty. So again, imagine a four stack. Everybody's running incendiary grenades. They're all throwing those incendiary grenades. They all throw 3 or 4 of them all on top of you. You're taking like 45 to 50 damage with just all 4 of those hitting on you. Like, you don't have enough time to even respond. Much less if 1 or 2 characters in the game are only carrying the incendiary grenades. Those 2 characters themselves are devastating. The 2 or the 3. Like, you just, again, it just goes on, and I don't ever see a 3-man stack of incendiary grenades, because I don't really see everybody running a Vi, Scorch, and a Dallas all in one go. And I mean, there is a chance that that can happen, and if it does happen, woo! But again, right now, if utility mastery does implement itself into the game, that's one of the major utilities we'll have to worry about. It's also a no-brainer, doesn't require a lot of skill. You can just throw that down exactly where you want it, and it'll do exactly what you need it to. You can have hurt somebody so bad they can't even do anything. Throw down the incendiary, they die. I mean, it's just a really powerful utility, and I'll be afraid to see that get out of hand too. So the last utility that I'll be actually worried about, and this is the only one that actually requires skill and effort to actually work with, it's going to be the bounce grenade. Bounce grenade, ever since it got implemented into the game with Kestrel, it became one of my favorite utilities. Like, I love it. It does require a lot of skill, learning the trajectories and how to bounce it off those walls to put them in the right place and put them right into your opponent's pockets. But anytime that you're able to implement that and actually make that happen, it's a beautiful feeling, because you know you had to actually put effort and work into that throw. You're not just throwing it down on a corner. You're not just throwing it down on an opponent and it's just blam, it kills them. You're actually having to time it, you're having to throw it, you're having to make it bounce. There's a lot of steps that you have to do to make it powerful. However, it is a very powerful utility. Especially when you equip Blaster, if you're carrying it around with Seeker, there's just certain characters that make it really dangerous. I would hate to see it behind the hands of Dima with him running his legendary Blaster, because I'm sure that is a one-hit down, even with it within the facility. Oh, it's almost the same with Switchblade. I mean, not Switchblade, I apologize. With Seeker. With Seeker, every time he bounces anything off a wall or anything that he has bounces, it makes it take 2 times the damage, and bounce grenades is no different. So when you hit bounce grenades, it's going to take extremely lots of damage, and it's just a beautiful weapon. So again, it requires a little more skill, but at the end of the day, when you use that utility, you can be just as devastating as any other utility in the game. But that's my thoughts and opinions on it, guys. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. What do y'all think about utility mastery on its way into the game? Do y'all think this is needed? Do you think it's not? Do you think it's going to happen regardless? Because again, I feel the same way. I feel it's going to happen no matter what, because at this point, it's the only one left. Why would they not go ahead and push it out? And if they're going to try to keep making it where we can make our loadout, you know, they have to act like Call of Duty, so let them be Call of Duty, right? Anyway, that's my thoughts and opinions on it. If y'all haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate if y'all do one of those things. I'm constantly trying to upload content every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and the like and subscribe motivates me to make more content. Also on Fridays, me and the boys are going to try to play a different game. We're going to try to play a more laid back game, kind of like just have a little more fun and more commentary. It's not really laid back because we still play very competitive games, but at the end of the day, we try to make it more fun and more relaxing, less serious topics on game changes and what's upcoming for games, and just try to have a good time and make people laugh. So if y'all enjoy those type of gameplays and y'all want to come out and enjoy us play a couple like Rainbow Six Siege, Apex Legends, or Dead by Daylight, y'all come out and see us there. Also on Monday, I'm planning on doing RPG solos or gameplay solos with either by myself or I'm going to play with my son. Lately, we've been playing some Cuphead, so hopefully later on I'll be able to upload some Cuphead videos for everyone with me and my son, and it'd be a very commentary because I'm wild and crazy and my son's awkward. He doesn't know how to respond to me, so he just sits there and listens. So if y'all want to hear that and see that gameplay, check out the videos on Monday. Alright guys, I hope y'all enjoy the video. I'm going to cut to it. Peace out. Y'all have a fantastic day, and thank y'all for watching.
You're with me.
I'm down! Group up!
Enemies planted the bomb. Stop them.
Lethal bomb spot.
Get me up! Hey.
I'm defusing the bomb.
Clear.
You all made that look easy.
All clear.
I feel like I just won a medal.
You want a medal for that?